our institute procure for providing better services to our student and faculty members. In this chain, we start that training session for how to access ebooks on YouTube design as well as remote access. Now I request the representative of Nexus Global EduTech to start the session.
Pawan Kumar sir, just give me one moment. We'll get started with the training session.
Yeah, of
So let me start screen. Sir, can you see my screen?
No, sir, it is not visible.
Okay, one moment.
Now it is showing, sir. Yeah, that's fine, sir.
Sure. So first of all, I thank parents for a part of the training session today. So the institution has subscribed for the ebooks to help you access these content remotely as well as institution lines within the institution. So we will walk you through. So there are currently three different ebooks subscribed. One is from Pearson, the other one is from eLife for you, and the other one is McGraw. So I'll walk you through all the process and how do you need to actually access these documents. So the first and foremost thing is for accessing the Pearson account, you actually need to visit this website, which is elibrary.in.pearson.com, right? So here, whenever you log in, so there are two things. So if you have already created a username, you'll be able to put in the email ID here and the password, and then you'll be able to log into the platform. But the first and foremost thing is because as most of the students would be accessing these books remotely, you will have to go ahead and create an account for yourself. Now, creating an account is very easy on the platform. You click on create an account, like just like how you create an account on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter, you'll be able to easily create an account in the same way. So the moment you click on create account, you'll be asked for a few personal information as well as account information, where you'll need to fill in all of this information. So for an example, the first name you can put in as whatever the first name that you have, and then I'm putting my last name. Put in your email address that you would use. Either you can go ahead and use the institutional email, official email, or you can go ahead and use called as an access code. Now, every institution has a separate access code that whenever an institution buys a particular number of ebooks, we actually provide them with an access code. Now, this access code would be provided to you by the librarian or by the any information officer or anything like that. Now, for this purpose, for MIT Gwalior, now the access code is actually this one. So we would be sharing this access code with you so that the librarian can go ahead and send it across to all the participants. So these, once you've entered all of this information and enter the access code, now you need to create an account information. The person information is actually to help the faculty as well as the library to understand who's accessing this. Now the account information is to help you access your account. Now for account information, you can use any username such as, for example, I'll use Ishanet93. Now I'll use Typeset, probably test at 123, similar as test at 123, right? And then you put in the email and CAPTCHA here, HAT. Right? Now once you have put in all of this CAPTCHA and everything, now you will just go ahead and click on create account. So sometimes the CAPTCHA might not show properly because we have written it wrong. So let me just refresh this OLZ6P and then click on create account. Now the moment you click on create account, you will actually So right now we can see that the password must have at least 6 characters and all that. So let's just go ahead and create the password. You can use any password that you want to. So feel free to put anything that you're comfortable with. And there is a little lag on my system, so let me do it once again.
Password.
So put in the password, put in the captcha, and then create an account. Now, the moment you create an account, you will be actually redirected to a page. Now you can see your account has been created. Please sign in with your username and password. So now you need to sign in with your username and the password. So my username was Zishan at 93. I click on continue. Then I'll put in my password. So this is my password, and then I'll sign in. So the moment you sign in, you will see that as soon as you have not put in the name or you have not put in anything here, but automatically the Pearson, the login adds in your name, the institution name as Madhav Institute of Technology, Gwalior, right? So the reason how it adds is due to the access code that we have put in. Now, the first by default, you'll actually land on the My Bookshelf. And the second thing is on Institute Library. Now, if you have to access the books that the institution has subscribed, you need to click on Institute Library. Now, the moment you click on Institute Library, you will see that there are 49 books that the institution has accessed. So you can go ahead and access whichever the book that you are looking for. You can either search for the book by searching for a particular key for a particular title or anything like that. So for an example, you can go ahead and put here as, let's say, heat and mass transfer. Let me just delete this. So I'll click on heat and mass transfer probably, and you can search for it like heat and mass. Now the moment you put in keyword, you'll see that there are search results that are so the moment you search for heat and mass, you'll be able to notice that the books would start showing up. Now once you have found the books, you can just go ahead and click on the plus mark. Now the moment you click on the plus mark, what it is going to do is this book would be added to your particular bookshelf. So you click on OK. The moment you click on OK, this would do is this would be added here in the my bookshelf. So like this. So this is your own personal library that you're building, right? Now, with the institution has subscribed for 49 books, but you in a particular semester or probably in your branch, you might be only accessing about 6 books. So you can go ahead and add all of these 6 books here in the in your bookshelf. So you can either go ahead and name this bookshelf as well. So you can this is basically your bookshelf. Now to read this particular book, you need to click on this book. The moment you do a right click on this, the book would automatically be open for accessing the content here. Now, how do you access this particular content? Now you can see how the book, so this actually gives you a kind of a very book reading kind of an experience. So you can see for changing the pages, you have like all of this arrow marks. But if you're accessing this on the mobile app, or probably if you're doing this on anywhere else, you can do a simple swipe as well. And this will help you to do that as well, right? Now, for an example, let's probably move. You can also put in the page number. So if you're probably referring to page number 50, you can put the page number and just do an enter. And this would actually show you the page number 50 like this. And so this is the page number 50. Now, what are the other options in terms of accessing this, right? So if you want to probably access anything, like you can just select a particular content and then you can you can go ahead and do any sort of coloring to it. Now, this coloring would just basically help you in terms of identifying a particular, because everybody has a different reading experience. So if you can just go ahead and play with any other coloring codes, because this will help you access the content in a much better way. Now, if there's any bookmark, or for an example, right now you can see that the page number 50 has been made as a bookmark. Now, the reason why bookmarks are important is because you might, while you're preparing for any interns or your internals or probably externals, you might be thinking that a particular question or probably an answer or an equation or any other thing is important on a particular page. So it's very important for you to go ahead and bookmark that as well. So right now, currently there are no resources, but if there are any resources, those resources will start showing up here as well. Now this option would actually let you do a display setting. So right now you can see that the page displays single page. So if you want to go to a two-page mode, you can just click on this two-page mode, and this will give you more like a exact book reading experience. So you can also go ahead and fit to the width of it to page as well. Now these are the three different options. Now coming back here, so you can click on this additional mark here. This would change here. And the moment you select on this particular thing, this would this would just make the screen entirely black. Now if there's any picture or anything like that, so you can go ahead and change the color, or you can just change the size as well. So if you require probably any additional size, you can go ahead and do that as well. You can increase the opacity, but I don't think so that these settings are as important as these are. So you can just probably go ahead and do that as well. So now this is more like a marker. So if you want to underline a specific word or anything like that, you can go ahead and use this particular marker. This is more like a paintbrush. So same, quite similar approach. Now this is like then this is also an underline option. So if you want to underline something, or if you want to crop something, or if you want to type anything here, you will also have an option to do that. And probably this will only help you in terms of marking a particular page. And then if you just click on this delete, this will just disappear. Now, what are the important aspects? So the moment you click on menu, you'll see that what are the preface, where is the preface, where is the content, and in what pages, what are the outline of this particular document. You'll be able to see that here. And also in history, you will see that this will show you what was the recent page that you visited. So as we visited page number 49, you'll be able to see that here. Now here in the notebook, you will see that whatever bookmarks. Now you can also see here that we had made a color coding of this particular content. Now that particular color content is showing up. This is only for quick accessing of any content that you have. And this is just to help you in terms of quickly accessing if there is any important content. Since many of you would be preparing for external
Excuse me,
exams or
sir.
yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, actually, the screen is not changing on my system. I mean, is it visible to others? Pavan?
Uh,
Pavan, this is
Yes, ma'am.
Anshu.
Yes, ma'am. Visible. Visible है
It's
ma'am.
not changing here. It's not changing the screen. Okay, fine. I'll see. At my end, might be having some problem. Okay, sir. Thank you. You
sure.
can continue.
So what you can probably do here is you can just, because for quickly accessing, since most of you would be reading on on your desktop or probably on mobile app, so it's very important, rather than going and changing the pages by clicking this arrow button or probably swiping the screen, uh, coloring or probably bookmarking a few pages will actually help you in terms of accessing that particular content in a much faster way. So basically, this is how you'll be able to go ahead and use the Pearson library. So if you want to go ahead and delete this, or you can edit, you also have an option here, so which you'll be able to go ahead and do that as well. Now under filter, you also have like, you can go ahead and select which highlight do you want. So if there are specific different color coding, you can go ahead and make the pink highlight as well. So this is basically how you'll be able to use the Pearson app and access the content. So we also have a mobile application that we have built in, where you'll be able to go ahead and do that. Now, if you want to go ahead and print this, or if you want to go ahead and return this book, you can go ahead and just click on this return book, and this particular book would be returned back to the institutional library. Right? So that's how you will access it. And there are also a few options wherein you'll be able to download this particular book, and you can go ahead and if there are specific things that you would want to print out, those options are also completely available here. Now, for an example, this is about how you can use it. I'll show you how to access this on mobile app. So I think everybody would be having mostly a Android phone or probably an iPhone. So let me show you how the so I'm just going to go ahead and play this particular video, and this video will help you how to access the app and how you can access the books on these particular apps. Now, as you can see, you can download the Pearson e-library app from Google Play Store or any Apple App Store, right? So as we did the similar kind of an approach for accessing the content online on the web app, it's quite similar. So if you have created an account once on the web app, you'll be able to go ahead and create the same. You can go ahead and use the same username and the password directly on this particular platform. So for here, you would not need to create an account once again, but this will again show you how to create an account. Yeah, so as you can see, once you log in, it's going to be quite similar to the web app. Now in the web app, you had My Bookshelf and Institute Library. It's quite similar to the same thing as app as well. So if someone would want to access these books on their, on their mobile, so you can just download this particular app. They can start accessing the books right from here. So this particular you'll be able to do that on the PSN app. So like I was showing to you, so there in even in the mobile application, so you have a plus button here, as you can see in the orange color. Now the moment you click on that, that particular book would be added to your bookshelf, right? Similar to the previous process that we did on the web app. So this is quite easy to use, and I think since most of us are very active on smartphones, I think you'll be able to easily use this particular platform. And now the moment you click on that orange mark, you will see that it would show you as book added. Now, as I was mentioning to you, you will be able to swipe the pages as well. Now, most of the other options are quite similar, so I'm just going to go ahead and play the video. Yeah, so now as you can see, so right now, how I was showing to you in the previous web app, whenever you click on the menu option, so you'll have an option where all the notes and highlights should be shown. It's this mobile application is also going to go ahead and do the same thing. So if you click on bookmarks, you will see what are the bookmarks, and if you click on notes and highlights, it will show you if there are any specific notes and highlights that you had done on the particular platform. I mean on the particular book. So as you can see, one of the most important features of Pearson is in terms of, you'll be able to access the ebooks anytime from any part of the world with just a stable internet connection, right? Since due to the pandemic, it's very important for all the students as well as the faculties to access these books from any part of the world so that they can keep studying and they can keep continuing their academic work. And Pearson has one of the largest collection of ebooks, and we provide quality content with original textbook layout. And using the application and the web app, you'll be easily be able to navigate to the chapters and table of content. And to provide a better reading experience, we also help you with bookmarks, special notes, editing, and all the color features. So this is about Pearson. So this is how you can actually download the web app, sorry, the mobile application, and then you'll be able to access these research articles. Now, since the institution is also subscribed for a few other ebooks from McGraw-Hill and also eLive for you. So I'll show you how to access that. So you'll be able to access articles. It's quite similar to this, but for making it much better reading experience, so there is something called as iPublish Central Reader, right? So you can see here, this is called as an iPublish Central Reader app. So you can go ahead and click on this ipublishcentral.com, and you can go ahead and download a particular web application for the Android or for Mac OS as well. So you can see there is an application in on the Play Store as well as on the iCentral app. Now, the moment you download that particular on your desktop, this is how the iPublish Central book would look like. I mean, the application would look like. So here in the application, you can see it has a list of all the all the top publishers, all the technical publishers, such as any specific publisher that you're looking for, you should be able to find that here. Now, there are two other subscriptions that the institution has brought in. One is eLive for you as well as McGraw-Hill. Now, how do you access these content? Now, if the institution, if you're accessing an article from McGraw-Hill, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and search for McGraw-Hill here. Like for an example, you search for MC, it will show you McGraw-Hill, right? So you click on this. Now, the moment you put in, you will have to put in the username and the password. So the username and the password would be provided to you by the institution. So we will go ahead and provide them the institution the passwords as well. Now, for an example, this is the username is this is the username that I'd be using. So I'm clicking on. Yeah, I'm clicking on. I think I need to type in the username. So let me just do that. So the moment you click in here, you'll be asked to add the username as. So this is the username. I'm putting in as username as bb_ebooks. So the username would be provided to you. So right now I'm using a different username and password. And the password is putting in the password, and then the moment I sign in, you will see that I have just signed into this particular platform now. Now, the moment you sign in, you can see here, you will also have an icon that would actually show you like an account. So when you click on this inverted arrow, you will see that McGraw-Hill has been logged in. Now, the moment you click on McGraw-Hill, so you can click on these three arrows here, and then you will see that currently you'll be able to access the McGraw-Hill. And then when you double click on it, this will show you all the books that are there in the McGraw-Hill, right? Now, there is also another publisher that the institution has bought in, which is eLive for you. So let me log into that and show you once again. So right now we want to access eLive. So I'm putting in as eLive, and then I'll click on, I'll click on enter here, and then you will see this is eLive for you. Then you do a double click, and then you also need to put in the username and the password here. And the username and the password that I'll be using is for the demo account that I'm using. SNDTW 2021. It's the same as 2021. And then you click on sign in. And the moment you sign in, you will see now that I have logged into eLive for you. Now, the moment you log in, you eLife for you. So using a single app, you'll be able to access McGraw as well as eLife for you. So using this app, you will not be able to access Pearson because Pearson has its own separate application. But for accessing McGraw and eLife for you, you will have to use this particular platform. Now, similar to the Pearson, you also have quite similar features, which is if you want to add a shelf, we add it as physics, right? You click on create here, and then so this is the new shelf. So if you want to add any book to this particular new shelf, you will go to the, like, once you log into this particular platform, you will have the name of the publisher here, like McGraw or probably eLife for you. And then you can, under McGraw, you can go ahead and search for any book. Like for an example, I'll search for applied machine. So under applied keyword, any book that is there, that will start showing up. So for this, I click on this invert, the arrow that you're looking at the center. Now, the moment I click on it, this particular ebook is getting downloaded now. Yeah, so now you can see it has been downloaded, and it also shows you the expiry. So this is not important. So you click on, once it has been downloaded, you can click on this double. You can just go ahead and click on, do a double click. Now, the moment you click on double click, you will see that the image would open up, right? And then this would show you how you can access it. Quite similar to the Pearson app as well. Here you can go ahead and change the page number. So this shows you that there are about 650 pages in this. And the moment you click on this, this will also show you what are the contents that are available here. Now this will take you back to the shelf. So let me just reopen this book. Now, what are the features of this particular reader, right? So for an example, if you want to select this particular content, and if you can see right now there is an add note or highlight option. So if you can click on add note, you can add this as, this is a question for physics paper. Okay. This is how you can, and then you can click on save. Now, the moment you click on this, you also have an option to change the highlight color. So you might be, some people have different preference of color. So for important, you might add a purple or blue or anything like that, whichever the choice that you have. And this is how you can go ahead and highlight a particular content. Now, in terms of bookmark, right? So for an example, you might be writing a research article or probably doing a research. At that point of time, you might find kind of a content that might be related to your research. So if you want to probably use this, you can click on this bookmark, and this particular page would be cited as a particular reference formatting here. Now this actually gives you a printable option, so you can go ahead and you can just go ahead and print the pages. For an example, if you want to print the pages entirely from page number 1 to page number 50, you can go ahead and do that, or else what you can probably do here is you can go ahead and put in the specific page number that you want to. For an example, might be page number 50 to 60. You can just put in from page number 50 until 60. So this will give you also an option. The moment you click on print, you will see that this will show you that how this needs to get printed. This is also help students access a few particular chapters or anything from a particular book. Now this is in terms of searching. For example, if you want to search any other important aspects, you will be able to search it here. Now under settings, it's quite similar. Like you can see what is this called, scroll type, whether you want a single page, double page, quite similar to Pearson. And then this is also a bookmark. So right now we have marked the bookmark to this page number 12 and 13. Now, while you are accessing back the, probably let's imagine that you have gone back, and now if you want to access this particular book, and then you want to click here, and then you can click on notes. Now, the moment you click on notes, any note that you have saved, that would start showing up. So since we had bookmark page number 33, you can see here that it is showing you as page number 33. You can click on go to location, and this will take you directly there. right? And then if there are any highlights, you can see that there is a highlight here. If you want to also add a note, you can go ahead and do that as well. Like you click on add a note. This is important. Save. And then when you click on this, that particular note would be saved here. So this basically will help you in terms of accessing the content, in a much easier, faster way, right? So it's similar to this. This eLive for you is also quite similar. Now, when you go to this physics, you can go ahead and add a particular book here as well. Like you can click on physics here, and then you can go on this particular, and any book that you have added, you can go ahead and click on, just do a right click here, and then you can see add to shelf, and then you will have an option called as physics. Now, the moment you click on physics, now this book would be moved to the shelf here on physics. So this is how you can access both the McGraw Hill as well as the eLive for you books as well. I'll show you once again in eLive for you. Let's probably download any other small book, probably the first one, Graph Theory. Similar to this, you click on the arrow and then this would get downloaded. Now you can see this was a shorter book, so it got downloaded very, very fast. Do a double click, similar to the previous one. Scroll here, you'll be able to read. Probably if you want to star mark it or probably highlight, quite similar. Both of the things are similar here, right? So like this. And if you want to probably add this any downloaded book, so right now you can see you will have to go ahead and for any book that you want to add it to your particular shelf, just go on that particular book, do a right click, and then you will have an option called as add to shelf as physics. And now this would get added here. So basically using iPublish Central app, you can access most of this publisher. So you can see here under books, you have so many publishers here. So whichever the publishers the institution has access, those books would be available here in the iPublish Central application. Okay? And for accessing Pearson, you'll use the Pearson app or the Pearson web application. But for accessing McGraw Hill and eLive for you, you will be able to use this particular platform. So if you have any questions here, we'll probably take those questions. And we also need to probably do a similar presentation on another software tool that can actually help you write your research articles in a much efficient way. So if there are any questions, we can probably pause here for probably about 5 minutes, and then I can let you ask the question. So I think most of the credentials and the access codes and all the email IDs and the password for accessing the McGraw Hill and the eLive for you, those things would be provided to you by the librarian. We will go ahead and share that with the librarian, and then they'll be able to help you with it, right? So if there are any questions, I think all the participants have an option where they can put in the questions in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer that. So I think we have got to go ahead for the next session, so which is in terms of how do you write research articles. So I think one of the most important aspect in terms of doing a research is doing a research on physics, or you might be doing a research on chemistry, biology, or any other thing, right? So at this point of time, what happens is an author or a faculty might be able to he might have spent a lot of time in understanding, doing a research and writing that research on MS Word or probably on books or physically or anything like that, right? So after you do that research, it's very important for you to publish that research article in any one of the journal. Now, these journals might be published by Elsevier or Pearson or McGraw or anything like that, right? So in such cases, every publisher actually has something called as submission guidelines. Now, for an example, as you can see here, when I'm typing as Elsevier, I'll put in as Elsevier author guidelines. So the moment I click on Elsevier author guidelines, you will see here that there is a guide for authors. Now, the moment you click on it, you will see that there is a PDF which actually describe what is the guide for the authors. So any research article that you have written, and if it has to be published in the Elsevier journal, you need to make sure that this research article is formatted according to this particular format. Now, if the research article is not formatted according to this format, the research article might get rejected. So in such case, what generally most of the authors or the faculties do is that they would either go ahead and manually understand these guidelines and then they would format it entirely, or they would go ahead and use LaTeX for formatting. But for LaTeX, the issue with LaTeX is even to write a simple code in terms of title, you will see that there is at least about 15 to 20 lines of code that you need to actually write. So this is a sample title code that you actually need to, do that in terms of just writing this page, right? So you can see just for writing this page, you need to actually write this many lines. So this, if you're from a computer background, it becomes very easier for you to understand LaTeX. But by any chance, if you're coming from a non-programming background, understanding LaTeX and just to write your research article, it might take a lot of time. And just to write the research article, learning LaTeX might be a very time-consuming process, and LaTeX does not have any other implications as well. So due to which we have actually come up with a new product called Typeset. Now this product, what it does is it actually converts these guidelines, right? So these are the guidelines in which what should be the reference style, what should be the font size, font style, how should the references be formatted. You can see how the title should be formatted, how should the appendices be. All of that is particularly mentioned here in this particular PDF. Now what we have done for that is we have converted these guidelines into different templates. So you can go ahead and visit our website, which is typeset.io, and then you can go ahead and create an account for yourself. But once you've created an account, it's quite similar to the previous one, that how you can go ahead and, so right now, while creating an account on Typeset, you do not need to have any sort of an access code. You can just use your email address and the password to create an account. Now, after you created an account, you click on login, put in the email address and the password, and then you should be able to log into the platform. And the moment you do so, you will actually land on the dashboard. So this is how the dashboard looks like. So towards your left, you have different, segregations, and here this shows you all the documents that you have recently worked upon. And the first step is to go to the templates gallery here. And once you go to the templates gallery, you search for any name of the journal. So we have a lot of participants today. If there are any journal suggestions, you can go ahead and put in the name of the journals here. Anybody can put in any name, and I'll use the same journal that you want me to use. Or we can just go ahead and anybody can put in any name in the chat box. I think we aren't receiving any chat. So let me just go ahead and put an example as, I think we got one chat here. I think there is ASME, which is, let's see, this might be, there is, and from Hemlata Arya, there is something called as STM. So let's see if we have any called as STM. Right now, I need the name of the journal. Probably abbreviation might not work. So this is something called as International Journal of Green Economics. Let's see if we have International Journal of Green Economics. Yeah. So this is from Windows Science Publishers, International Journal of Green Economics. I'm clicking on this. Now, the moment you click on this, you will see this is how their template should look like. So if you want to publish a research article in this journal, you need to submit the research article according to this particular format, right? Now, for doing that, you click on, you have selected the template now, and then you click Use Template with My MS Word file. So here, you will actually upload the file that you want to convert into a PDF. So this is the document that I want to convert. I'm selecting it. I click on Open. The moment you click on Open, what the software will do is it would analyze the document that you're uploading, and then it will import all the content from the document onto the editor. Once the document has been analyzed, you follow the pop-ups. To get your output to International Journal of Green Economics, follow the 4 simple steps. You click on Let's Go and then choose the box that contains your article's title. So this is my article's title. I've selected it. Save and continue. These are my authors and affiliations. I've selected them. And then I click Save and Continue. Then this is my abstract. I've selected it. Save and Continue. And then you select the references. Just click on the first reference and then the last reference. Also, while selecting the reference, you can note that the name of the author is actually at the end of the reference. Basically, the name of the author is jumbled across. So in such cases, what it does is the software has an ability to automatically convert and rearrange the references as well. So I select the reference, then I'll click Save and Continue, and then I'll click Preview Formatted Document. Now, the moment you do that, what the software will do is it will just go ahead and automatically convert your research article according to the guidelines of the International Journal of Green Economics. So the process, which would require few hours to probably few days to do it manually, the software is just going to go ahead and do that within a span of about 30 to 60 seconds. Sure. So now you can see how the document has been formatted. So when I upload it, this is how the document was, but right now you can see how it has been formatted according to the journal style, right? And let's look at the references. When I uploaded the references, you can see this is how they were. But right now you can see the name, which is Abbasin Hosseini at the end of the reference. It has not started now. It has now started showing up from the beginning. So this is how the software actually takes care of the formatting of the document. So you do not need to worry about how do you know, understanding the guidelines or anything like that. So any journal that you're looking for, just search for that particular template, and then you'll be able to find that particular template on our platform. So we currently have more than 50,000 plus journal formats that are available on the platform, ranging from Web of Science to, you know, Scopus Index journals and very reputed international journals as well. Now, once this particular formatting has been done, and if you want to download this research article, or if you want to make any tweaks to it or probably changes to it, you click on Edit on Typeset, and then you land on the editor. When you land on the editor, this is how the editor looks like. So you can divide it into three different, you know, views, which is towards your right, which shows you how your research article is looking like in real time. At the center, this shows you an editor like MS Word. Towards your left, this is an outline section, the author section, and the metadata section here, right? And then I'll tell you what are the manual edits that you might have to do. So there might be an extra copy of keywords that might be added up here. So you can just go ahead and delete that in certain case. And sometimes the caption of the image would be just below the image. So in such case, you just need to cut this and add it here in the right space. But similar to this as well, you will cut it from here and then you will add it here. And then just delete this unwanted table. After you have done these changes, if you want them to be reflected here, just do a refresh. Right now you can see there is no caption that is showing up, right? So once you do that and do a refresh, the caption would start appearing up here in the document like this, right? And then you can see that your document is ready. If you, then the other manual work that you might have to do is in terms of citation. Now there are a few you know, journals that want the authors to cite the references. If you're doing it on MS Word or probably on LaTeX, it's a very lengthier process. If you want to do it on Typeset, it's a very easier one. So wherever there is a reference, you click on the cursor, click on Cite References, and then you search for the name of the author here, and then you click here, and then this gets cited. So this is how you can go ahead and cite the reference and then do a refresh. So once you're ready, and when you know that your document is ready for being published, what you can do is you can click on File, Save As, PDF, include uncited reference, and then download. At the moment to do that, you will actually see that the document would get downloaded into a PDF form, right? And now this is the document that is completely ready for being published. Now, but by any chance, if the research article gets rejected by International Journal of Green Economics, now what to do in such case, right? Now, if the document gets rejected, most of the time the authors or the faculty members, they would get rejected or they would feel very bad thinking, you know, if the article gets rejected, you might feel really bad thinking that I spent so much of time, even in such case, the article got rejected, right? So for doing that, or if you want to reformat it to any other journal, doing that manually would require a lot of time. So what if you've done that on Typeset, just changing the journal format is within a few seconds. Now for doing that, you click on this inverted arrow, click on change template, and then, you know, when you do that, you can just go ahead and search for any other you know, template name, any other journal name. So if you have any other journal suggestion, anybody can go ahead and put in as well. So there was International Journal of Innovative Computing by Ms. Hemlata Arya. So I'll go ahead and search for that particular name here. So you can see this is International Journal of Innovative Computing and Applications from InterScience Publishers. So InterScience Publishers, I think the format is quite similar as well. So we will, yeah, this format is completely different now. This is a 2-column format. So once you have done that, you click on use this format. You know, the software would actually change the formatting as well. Now, once you've changed the template, what you basically need to do is you need to do a refresh here. And then when you do a refresh, you will see that the same article, which was initially formatted according to a different journal guideline, now it would be converted according to a different journal guideline, like this. Right? You can see how the formatting has changed within just a few seconds. And if you want to make the images as column fit, you can click on this arrow to the 3 dots and then change the orientation to column fit. Similar to this as well, click on it on column fit and then do a refresh. Now the moment you do so, what the software is going to do is it is just going to go ahead and fit the images into a single column like this. Okay, and now once it is done, you click on File, Save as, PDF, include unsighted reference, and then download. Now the moment you download, what the software is going to do is it will just go ahead and download the document into a different journal guideline. And then you click on Open. Now the moment you do that, just a few seconds, we converted the journal from the Journal of Green Economics to the Journal of Innovative Computing and Applications. So this is how the software can actually help you in terms of formatting as well as reformatting of the research articles. Right. So if you're publishing any thesis or if you want to repurpose this research article according to a dissertation or probably a thesis template, we also have a lot of universities who are using us. So in such case, you can just go ahead and click on Change Template. And then what you can actually do is you can go ahead and under universities, you can go ahead and choose any of the research templates. So we have MIT, ETH, Zurich, Stanford, UCB, UTM, and then Crescent Institute of Technology, IK Gujarat, K Society. You can see that what is the thesis template. And now once you've chosen the thesis template, click on View Format, and then click Use this format. Now the moment you do that, the same format would actually be applied to the document. And the same research article, which was initially formatted according to the Journal of Green Economics, then into the Journal of Computing, now would be formatted according to the thesis template of Rajaram Bapu Institute of Technology. So similarly, if your institution has a different thesis format or a project report format, we can go ahead and customly build that as well, so that the institute, the faculty members or the students can actually use that particular. Yeah. So now you can see how the document has been formatted. So once you know the document is ready, you click on File, Save as PDF, include unsighted reference, and then download. Now, the moment you download, you will see that the document, which was initially formatted into different journal formats, now would have been formatted according to into a thesis format. So similarly, we also have conference templates. So if anybody want to go ahead and use the conference template, they can go ahead and choose any conferences from here. It would convert into a conference.
You can please use the IEEE conference paper.
Yeah. So right now you can see in the conferences, you can search for IEEE. And you can click on IEEE conferences, and then you can choose whichever the conference template that you want to. So I'll choose the first one. I'll click on View, use this format. And the same research article, which was initially written into a journal format, then into a thesis, now would be converted into a conference format as well. As most of the faculty members and the students actually do a lot of conferences in a year, so they can actually go ahead and use the software to format the research article according to a conference template as well. Once you've changed that, just do a refresh. And the moment you do a refresh, you'll actually see that the same research article now would be converted according to a conference template as well. Yeah, so now you can see how the IEEE format is looking like. So once it is done, you click on File, Save as PDF, include unsighted reference, and then download. So now the moment you download, you will see that the same research article now would be converted according to a conference template. So we also have a plagiarism check feature that is inbuilt within the software. So before submitting any research article, If you want to do a plagiarism check, you can click on this plagiarism check option, and then you can click on new check. Now, the moment you click on new check, this particular research article would be sent for the checking on Authenticate platform, and then the document would be done a plagiarism check, and then you will receive an email on your email ID with the file as well. So you can actually look at that plagiarism report and do the changes as well. So as you can see, when we started with the Journal of Economics, and then we went to Journal of Computing, and then we went to a thesis template, and then we went into a IEEE conference template. So using Typeset, you'll actually be able to format your research articles and then reformat the research articles as well. So what we believe is that the researcher should only do research, and the formatting and reformatting of the research articles can be done by a software like Typeset. So this is how you can actually use the platform and take care of your research needs. So what we believe is, what the platform is doing is it is not only helping in terms of formatting and reformatting, but it is also helping in terms of discovering the journals. You might be aware of only top 2 or top 3 or probably the top 10 journals. But if the research article is getting rejected in any of these top 2, top 10 journals, you would just let it go. But there are a lot of other journals which are equally good, but you're not aware of it, right? So that is what the Typeset platform has been doing. So we have been working with some of the most premium institutes in India as well as in the globe. So we have students from NASA, we have scientists from NASA, CERN, students from Harvard University, Stanford, UCB, MIT, all of these, Oxford, Cambridge, all of these students from these institutions actually use our platform to take care of their research needs. So we believe that by using Typeset, you'll be able to optimize your research writing skills, and this will also help you getting a research article published in any one of these journals. So if you have any questions, feel free to put that in the chat box, and we'll be happy to help you with any answers that you might require for.
Ishan, can you check the journal availability, International Journal of Green Economics and International Journal of Innovative Computing?
We use the same journal. We have used the same journal. So not at all. So there are the list actually has a lot of the platform has 50,000 plus journal templates. So let me show that to you. So we have more than 54,000 journal templates right now. So we are pretty sure that any search, any article, any template that you're looking for, we should be having that on our platform. And if there is if the template that you're looking for is not here, we can go ahead and build that within a span of about 24 hours. So you do not need to be worried about it or anything like that. So I think that's it from our end. So if you have any queries related to the eBooks as well as the Typeset platform, feel free to reach out to the librarian, and he is actually connected with us, and we'll be happy to help you. And if you require any other additional training sessions or anything like that, do let us know, and we'll be happy to help you with more sessions or anything like that. Right. So I think, Mr. Pawan, do you think we can conclude the session? Sure. I think so. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to do this demonstration. We will go ahead and share all the required information with the librarian so that it can be shared across the university as well as the college. So thank you so much for being patient with us and also for giving us your valuable time. And we wish you a great rest of the day, and take care and stay safe.
Pawan sir. Or it. Pawan sir.
Mahesh, I think Pawan sir is he's there, but I think he's muted. You can probably call him, right?
Yeah. I have added one number, that 8956560594. If you have any query regarding the eBooks or regarding any Typeset, you just contact us on this number.
Sure. So if there's any issue for all the users in terms of the accessing eBooks or probably Typeset, just feel free to reach out to this number, and then we'll be happy to help you with the queries. So I think Mahesh, I'll end the session.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all of you. Thanks for giving the opportunity to present the eBooks and Typeset. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dishan sir, for a nice session.
Yeah, thank you, Pawan sir.
Yeah.
Kindly share
Thank
your
you so
valuable feedback, Pawan sir. After this session, please share your feedback about the training and Typeset also.
Yes, sir. Definitely, I will.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's been a very nice session.
If any have any query regarding the Typeset, please ask.
Must have got good. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. It's been a very nice session, and it is really going to be very fruitful for all of us. Thank you so much.